Sawadee-ka. Thank you for joining us for Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and also on NBT World. It's a Sunday and the date is May 8th, and my name is Sandra Hanutsaha. Welcome to this Sunday segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has defended the government's decision to apply Article 44 to its peace and order campaign, claiming most Thai people and even other nations approve of the government's performance. During his weekly televised talk show, General Prayut explained the use of Article 44 to arrest wrongdoers for prosecution was actually meant to deal with those involved in corruption, not to get rid of the government's critics, as rumored. General Prayut said the government had planned to encourage the public to participate in its Pracharat campaign to solve political conflicts, as he believes Thai people do not want to experience any major political dispute again. He also thanked all sectors for their support, which enables him to retain his premiership. General Prayut disclosed that the government has won growing admiration in the international arena since its performance is better than other countries with similar problems. The Royal Thai government has a plan to build waste treatment plants across the nation, hoping to dispose of 20 million tons of waste by the year 2021. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha addressed the public via his weekly TV broadcast on Friday, saying the government had a strong intention to get rid of accumulated waste of over 20 million tons, or 66% of 30 million tons in total by the year 2021. To achieve its goal, he said the government was planning to build waste treatment plants and 83 hazardous waste landfills throughout the country. The plan, with a span of 6 years, namely 2016 to 2021, aims to manage and treat community waste in the most appropriate way. The government is hopeful that it will be able to turn 75% of community waste into something useful during the 6-year implementation period. The Prime Minister also asked the public to reuse, reduce, and recycle, as well as consume less plastic, which is considered toxic waste that pollutes the environment. In addition, the plan also seeks to achieve waste sorting of at least 50% of all waste in the country by the year 2021. Waste sorting is the process by which waste is separated into different elements. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has sent his moral support to firefighters currently deployed in Narathiwat province. Government spokesperson Major General Sansan Kamnut said the Prime Minister had been closely monitoring the current wildfire in a peat swamp forest in the southern province of Narathiwat and would like to send his moral support to all firefighters working around the clock to get the situation under control. Furthermore, the spokesperson said the Prime Minister had asked the locals to refrain from all burning activities in all risk-prone areas. According to the latest report, the fire, which started in Sungai Padi district, has so far destroyed 300 rai of the area. The Prime Minister had also expressed his worries about the safety of local people while asking all public health personnel in the area to provide immediate assistance to those in need. The Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives is mobilizing all responsible agencies to monitor the quality of seeds and fertilizer as this year's farming season is approaching. General Chachai Sarikanya, Minister for Agriculture and Cooperatives, informed members of the press after a meeting with executives of the ministry that he had instructed all agriculture-related agencies to work in collaboration and with the private sector in order to control and monitor the quality of seeds and fertilizer to be supplied to Thai producers nationwide. He told the meeting that farmers must have a thorough understanding of fertilizers, making sure they are able to use them productively with their crops. He also said all farming activities must be in accordance with the government's water management plan in order to avoid water scarcity in the future. According to the minister, 33 dams across the country have been able to store an additional 94 million cubic meters of water during the past week, thanks to the recent rainmaking operations and summer storms. The Ministry of Social Development and Human Security has instructed responsible authorities in Nakhon Ratchasima to treat all human trafficking victims equally. Permanent Secretary for Interior Maitri Intusut traveled to the northeastern province of Nakhon Ratchasima, where he urged local authorities to treat and protect victims of human trafficking according to the human rights principles and international standards. He said all victims must be treated fairly and equally. The Thai government has been working to the best of its ability to crack down on human trafficking rings under its zero-tolerance policy, starting with closing all legal loopholes and bringing all responsible parties to justice. According to the latest estimates, up to 471 human trafficking victims, both Thai and nationals and migrants, have been rescued and sheltered since the start of the anti-human trafficking operation in 2015. A U.S. delegation will travel to Thailand in June this year to inspect the progress of the Thai government's anti-human trafficking effort, while Thailand hopes that the U.S. will upgrade its status on the Trafficking in Persons, or TIP, report. The Constitution Drafting Commission, or CDC, says more than 300,000 volunteers are expected to help the drafting team disseminate information about the draft charter. CDC spokesperson Norachit Singha said the drafting team had already talked to the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Public Health about their upcoming trips to various locations throughout Thailand to make known the draft constitution and the public referendum, which will take place in August. The spokesperson said around 330,000 individuals will be given training by members of the drafting team so that they have the right understanding towards the draft. The first training session will commence on May 18th. Once they have a thorough understanding, these volunteers will help explain in detail the contents of the draft, the referendum, and the additional question to be included in the referendum ballot. The additional question asks, should appointed senators be allowed to jointly vote with elected members of parliament to select a prime minister? A tropical storm has struck 2 districts in Lopburi province, damaging more than 200 houses. In the districts of Chai Badan and Kok Samrong, the storm caused a deluge of hail that collapsed many trees and utility poles, as well as damaged 270 houses. No one was injured. The Provincial Electricity Authority, or PEA, sent out its technicians to restore the power systems. PEA Governor Panu Yamsi led relevant bodies, including the Provincial Red Cross Chapter, local public health offices, district administrative organizations, and the military to storm-hit villages to offer survival bags and medical services to affected residents, as well as to assess the damage. The ongoing drought has caused prices of vegetables to surge while diminishing sales. Vendors revealed that prices of all vegetables in the markets in Yala have increased significantly, with some even doubling. They gave as an example prices of spring onion and coriander, which rose to 140 baht per kilogram from 70 baht, and lettuce, which is now 120 baht a kilogram instead of 80 baht as the previous price was. The same merchants said that popular vegetables in Yala were usually bought from Ratchaburi province, and their prices had to include transportation expenses. They also said the severe weather conditions had led to shortages of some produce, both locally and in markets of other provinces. The vendors indicated that with the increased prices, consumers were avoiding buying vegetables at the moment, prompting a sharp decline in sales. Moreover, some Burmese customers were turning to street vegetable vendors who sell their produce at a lower price. And the labor market at Padang Kasem Canal has been crowded with shoppers during the long holiday. The labor market, hosted by the Ministry of Labor, has seen a very large number of visitors at the beginning of the 5-day holiday. The event is divided into 4 zones, including a zone in honor of His Majesty the King in his capacity as the father of Thai craftsmanship standards, a zone featuring Thai students' success in international competitions for skilled workers, and the Labor Bank's zone to provide advice on sources of capital funds. Apart from more than 100 low-priced items of household utensils, visitors who are currently unemployed can also seek job opportunities at the event. The labor market will be organized until the 24th of May, and doors are open every day free of charge from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now, Thailand is known for many positive things, but over the years there has been a lack of scientific research to innovate products, and as a result, Thailand has been put in a position to import many goods and services to serve the needs of domestic consumers. But now, institutions are working and adjusting their curricula, hopefully to inspire younger generations to look at science as an exciting career path. And Panotsi Sinsap reports.
At the heart of manufacturing or running any business is innovation. Innovation that's beneficial, innovation that answers people's needs, and innovation that sells, much of it being imported from abroad. But actually we do not need to import this much if we innovate our own. But right now, we very much lack researchers.
Thailand annually produces only 8 new scientists out of 10,000 people, compared to roughly 300 new scientists annually in the United States. This comparison becomes much wider when it comes to producing research papers, and there are 500,000 research articles each year in the United States and more than 700,000 research articles in Europe. The prospects aren't so high either. The Faculty of Science and Technology and similar science-based programs are experiencing the highest number of student dropouts and inability to graduate compared to other faculties. Now, many institutes understand this situation and are adjusting their curriculum to better accommodate students, while also trying to change people's perception about what it means to be a scientist.
Everyone perceives that studying science is hard, so most students enroll in the course are students who love and are interested in science. But the reason that we have high number of dropouts is that apparently we also have some students who fail to be accepted to study in their top choice or major, so they choose us as a second option. But studying without much interest in the topic could make their life difficult. But if you have interest, no matter how hard it is, you will work for it. And the good thing about studying in this faculty is that everyone has a dream. And through science, the knowledge will make whatever you want come true using science. We are adjusting our curriculum too. Before we focus on providing students the knowledge so that they can go to work. But in our adjusted curriculum, we focus on creativities. Students have to use the knowledge we provide to make their creativity into reality, which eventually turn into innovation. We give them more hands-on experience, more projects, analyze more, and see what people would like so that they can sell their innovation.
One of my experience, the students come to me and they ask why you study science. I give them some of the idea that actually, even though in the classroom, all of the material around us can have some answer from science. So somebody just think that science just far away from their daily life, but actually science very close to your life. I just motivate them that some of your idea possibly work for the world or for the country, and some of the idea possibly solve the problem, and you possibly one of the young scientists in the future.
Through the new adjustments, this faculty hopes to inject more scientists and researchers into the field to develop more innovation, propel the economy, and hopefully make discoveries here in Thailand. Panosi Sinsap in BT World.
Thank you to Khun Pano for that very interesting and important report. And that is the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before the break, here's a look at the exchange rates and the commodity prices.
Thai. Created from Thai wisdom, used to be served on banana leaf, and the banana tree is used for practicing Muay Thai. Muay Thai was trained in the temples, which can be found on the mountains, in the caves, or on the water, everywhere, just like Pad Thai. There are thousands of other stories to discover. Discover your amazing stories in amazing Thailand.
If the earth is your home, the ocean is theirs as well. Working together, the government and private sector can solve all the issues currently facing the Thai fishing industry. From legitimizing fishing operations to helping out our fellow fishermen and collaborating with international parties.
ตอนนี้ถึงเวลาแล้วนะครับที่เราจะต้องมาร่วมมือกันทำให้มันถูกต้องมันก็ต้องปรับตัวในช่วงแรกแต่ในระยะยาวมันก็คุ้มค่า
ถ้าไม่มีอาชีพนี้เราก็ไม่รู้จะทำอะไรกันแล้วผมก็พร้อมครับที่จะเป็นส่วนหนึ่งในการแก้ปัญหา
Welcome back onto our Aussie News Now. The Ministry of Commerce is looking to host a number of business leaders and startups when it organizes the CLMVT Forum 2016 next month. Minister of Commerce Apiradi Tantraphon, together with the Ministry of Tourism and Sports and the Ministry of Labor, will play host to one of this year's most important business events called CLMVT Forum 2016 at Dusitani Bangkok Hotel between the dates of June 16th and June 18th. The three-day event is expected to be attended by business leaders, entrepreneurs, startup owners, and government officials from the CLMVT countries, which include Cambodia, Laos PDR, Myanmar, Vietnam, and Thailand. Participants will be able to share their experiences as the event opens up opportunities to all businesses both in Thailand and abroad. The event is also hoped to create regional connectivity between member countries, eliminate trade and investment barriers, promote domestic tourism, and allow startups to make their presence known in the CLMVT region. The minister strongly believes that the CLMVT countries will be keys to driving the ASEAN economy forward, thanks to the potential labor market, abundant natural resources, and the continually growing market. In our world news stories, Philippine presidential hopefuls held mass rallies yesterday in a festival-like finale to divisive campaign, with some calling on voters to block firebrand frontrunner Rodrigo Duterte's path to the top job. Pop stars, celebrities, and scantily clad dancers entertained big crowds across Manila 2 days from an election shaken up by a last-gasp appeal from President Benigno Aquino for a united front to stop Duterte converting his runaway popularity into victory. Philippine politics is no stranger to controversial characters, and opponents of the maverick mayor are alarmed by his incendiary rhetoric and advocacy of extrajudicial killings as a deterrent against rampant crime and illegal drugs. However, there were no signs of Aquino's appeal working after 2 candidates rejected a pact. As the 5 candidates held their final rallies on Saturday evening, Duterte had a sizable 11-point lead in final opinion polling over Poe, with Manuel Roxas a close third. Duterte, 71, is the alternative candidate, often likened to Donald Trump and considered both an entertainer and a loose cannon. Police estimated his rally on Saturday drew 300,000 supporters, far eclipsing the crowds of his rivals. He reiterated his promise to eliminate crime in 6 months. Experts say Duterte's recent surge and Poe's popularity as the adopted daughter of a famous movie star represents public disenchantment with Aquino's administration. Mexican drug boss Joaquin Chapo Guzman has been moved from his jail in central Mexico to a prison in the northern U.S. border city of Ciudad Juarez, but it was not a preamble to extradition. Guzman, the head of the Sinaloa drug cartel, was one of the world's most important drug bosses until he was captured in January this year, 6 months after he broke out of a high-security jail in central Mexico. Security was heavy outside Ciudad Juarez's Federal Social Readaptation Center No. 9, where Guzman is now being held. His lawyer, Juan Pablo Badillo, said Guzman was moved early yesterday, but he was not sure why. Badillo also said the prison transfer would complicate Guzman's already complex legal process. Guzman's transfer sparked suspicion of extradition to the U.S., but authorities said extradition was not imminent. Still, Badillo said he believed the person filling the office that is, of U.S. President could affect Guzman's treatment if he were to be extradited. Russia held the final rehearsal for its Victory Day parade on Moscow's Red Square yesterday, 2 days ahead of the country's World War II victory celebrations. Military vehicles rolled across the square and aircraft flew overhead as Russia prepared to commemorate the 71st anniversary of its victory over Nazi Germany in the Great Patriotic War. The scale of this year's event will be smaller than that of last year. Russia plans to spend 210 million rubles on the parade, making it the most frugal one for 5 years. Nearly 10,000 soldiers are expected to join the parade, along with nearly 100 military vehicles and 71 aircraft and helicopters. Victory Day is a holiday that commemorates the capitulation of Nazi Germany to the Soviet Union at the end of the Second World War. Large cities in Russia have held various celebrations on that day for decades in an effort to stimulate people's patriotic enthusiasm and strengthen national cohesion. And that's all we have for you in this Sunday edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, do feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook by typing in NNT, and have a look at our website at thainews.prd.com. newsline.go.th/en. This Sunday, we say goodbye with 4 new baby Humboldt penguins getting their first medical checkup at the Paris Zoo. For Newsline, I'm Sandra Hanutsaha. Have a great holiday. สวัสดีค่ะ